authorities. Welcome aboard Little Bear for another adventure in the major refit. Today we find ourselves on a long weekend. There's not many people around. I'd rather be on the water, but Little Bear's not ready to go back on the water, so we're going to attempt to take the mast down. Stand by, and I'll show you what we've been up to.
The sea dogs are with me today. They're all excited to see you. Thanks for showing up. We're in a park, so they have to remain on leash, and I'll probably keep them on leash anyway, just simply because they tend to follow their noses and they're very friendly and they would disappear over the horizon. So they'll stay on their leash and keep me company. And I thought I'd give you a status update on the boat. You can see this black coating. That's VC tar by Interlux. It's an epoxy coat. I've only put a little bit on it because I only had a little bit, and then I did a little bit of fairing over top of it. Boy, that's really hot. The sun shining on it, that's hot to touch. I put some epoxy over the rudder. I'm going to copper coat that eventually to keep the barnacles and other bad guys off of it. I did the water line because of all the blisters along it, and I haven't done anything below the water line, but I will. I have Interlux Interprotect 2000 that I'm going to put on there, but we seem to have reached a point of no more sanding, so I didn't want to go ahead and paint it anymore until I deal with the through hulls. I have a couple of other projects I'm considering. One is the through hull with the speed transponder, and the other is this knob, this horrible knob sticking down below here. That's my depth sounder transponder, but it sticks out so far, and I think whoever put it on there didn't follow the instructions or something. That just looks horrible to me, so I'm thinking about cutting it off even with the hull and getting a through hull transponder for the new electronics that I'll put on board. I also want to deal with these guys. These are through hulls, and of course on the other side are the Seacocks. Now the Seacocks are old. They're the original equipment, and I want to replace them with something a little newer. Those are Groco SV 730s, I think, something like that. And they've got the old rubber cones inside them, so when you undo them and then release the Seacocks, they leak, and I just don't want water on the inside of my boat. So I think I'll put the new Groco ball valves in them, replace them. And so there's a fair number of them. That's fresh or saltwater intake for the head. That's the head outlet, and that's the head sink outlet. So that's 3, 5, 7 Seacocks I have to deal with, plus these guys, these old and obnoxious looking things. The hull's going to remain looking like that for a while. I wish I could paint it. It would make it look and feel like I'm making some progress on the boat, and I think I am. It just doesn't show yet. So here you can see the deck and the rigging. If you know anything about rigging, I don't know if this will resolve well enough from the video because I've got it on wide angle, but if you follow the lines and look at the lines, they're just in a calling shape. So I'm going to take the mast down, and once we get the new rigging, we'll put it back up. But the challenge today is to get it down. It's like ancient bungee cords holding running backstays. I've got the topping lift here on an ancient cord. I believe this used to be, or still is, mainsail halyard with a nice pair of knots tied in the middle of it. I think. There's another halyard. No, it's the same halyard that's got the knots in it, and I'll probably utilize that for actually lowering the mast. Mast is on a tabernacle. That's this guy here. Here. And the idea is that once you release all the rigging, the mast just folds forward in place. Now the mast is, it certainly looks to be about 53 feet, and it's going to go over the bowsprit in theory. There's a lot of theory going on here because I've never done this before. I've checked out a Bud Taplin video, and the way he does it is he utilizes the boom, 110 foot main sheet, and then a couple of people to man guys as the mast comes down. But I'm by myself, and I have that thing there, right there. That is a mast crane, so I'm going to utilize the mast crane and pretend that that's my two guys, and I'll take the boom off, lower my mast over the bowsprit. Hopefully it holds, it's not too rotten, and then I will try and get it overboard down on a pair of sawhorses over the side. Now that's the idea. Whether it works out that way or not, I don't know. We'll see. In the meantime, I've got lots of jigs to figure out how to take the roller furling off. I've never used, well, I shouldn't say never used, I've used roller furling before, but I've never had to take it off an installation before, so I'm not sure what parts move, what parts don't. But we're going to find out shortly. Okay, so after a little bit of trial and error, we managed to get the furler off the bow. There's the bad boy right there, just swinging a little touch to the mast head, as you can see way up there. I'm not sure if there's a specific order in which to stays and when you're standing ready to the mast down, but I'm just kind of making it up as I go along and hopefully using a little bit of logic and common sense. The boom has been released from the mast, so the boom sits in the track and is fastened by a couple of supposed to be set screws, so these have been replaced at one time. The topping lift is run through a block, and so I have to unfortunately remove it from the inside. Of the boom, which I'm not looking forward to, because that means at some point in the future I'll have to put it back, and I'm not sure how to thread something like that. Now the boom is off, it certainly makes the deck look a lot better. There's the boom sitting down there. I expect I'll have to do some work on that at some point, but right now I'll just rest on the deck. Rest in peace. Or pieces.